ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 46, verse number 3. So in the previous two verses we read that Krishna, he desired to send Uddhava with a message. So we read about the qualification of Uddhava, that he is a great devotee, friend, and also cousin of Krishna, disciple of Brihaspati, highly intelligent. So it is to him that he speaks this verse 3. Says Gaccha Uddhava Vrajam Saumya Pitror Nau Pritimavaha Gopinam Yadviyogadhim Matsandeshair Vimochaya. So he told him that, O Uddhava, you go to Vraja and he calls him as Somya, peaceful one, and carry our love to our parents, Pitrorno, Pritimava, and also release the suffering of gopis who are in separation from me through my message. So basically he said two things, that you should carry priti for parents, or basically comfort them and remove the suffering of the gopis by giving my messages to them. So these are two things which he tells him. So asamyak prapaya, avaha means that carry this message of love to my parents properly. And vimochaya, and for gopis he says vimochaya, release them from the suffering. Yad viyogadhis tasam hridi dradhena granthina nibaddha. So why he is saying that you release them? He says as if this suffering is bound to their heart. For parents he said carry love for them, and for them release them from the suffering, as if it is tied into their heart very tightly. Granthina nibaddha iti gyapayati. So therefore release that knot in the heart. Tad vimochanam api mam sandeshaireva natu tad vak chaturyadivi. And how will you release this? He says this will happen only through my messages and not by your expert talk. Because it is not possible that they will be satisfied by any words. The only thing which can satisfy them is if I promise to them, I remind them that I will come and don't worry. And message of love. And he says not sandesha, that give my message, but he says sandeshai, that's in plural. So he says sandeshairapi bahubhireva natu sandeshake na ekena. So means various types of messages are needed, not just one message. Jnana yoga upadeshena, and it will not happen if you give them instructions on Jnana yoga. So Jnana yoga is very important when somebody is suffering, because suffering happens at our practical level, and Jnana yoga is to take you above that, put you into the absolute truth. So like Krishna, he starts his teachings to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita with Jnana yoga, eseta vihita shankhe buddhir yogestham shanu. So first he teaches him Sankhya, because he was also in grief. So first he removes by saying, why are you crying? Nobody dies. We are eternal. So this is Jnana, that taking you beyond relations, beyond body, and making you understand that you are not this body. In case of gopis, Krishna is everywhere, he is God. So why there is no separation from him? Sarvasya cham hridi sannivishta. He is in everyone's heart. Aham atma gudakesha sarvabhuta ashasthita. So he is the Atma. So this is Jnana yoga. So he says that this Jnana yoga will not work on them. They are beyond that. So just like in the material world, if somebody is very much materially attached, then Jnana yoga does not make any difference to that person. It doesn't make any effect. So similarly, they are spiritually, they are in love, so it will not have anything. They don't care for it. They are not interested. Says you can sell your Jnana Yoga somewhere else. There are no customers here for that. And na tu dvabhyam tadanantaram vaktavyabhyam sandeshabhyam. So neither Jnana Yoga and nor Jnana Yoga plus any other message which you can give. Mat prapti upaya svashanabhyam. That you tell them how to attain me. So this will not work on them. Tat prem vadvagni jwalaya bhasmi bhavitvat. Because all this Jnana Yoga and all the instructions which you will give, they will all get burnt up in the forest fire of their love. So their love in separation is so hot and burning that all this Jnana Yoga will not stand there. It's just not sufficient. It will turn into ashes. Kintu sarvante prakashitais tabhyo anyatra gyapna anadhai sandeshai rahasya vyanjikair bahubhireva. So what will work on them is the rahasya vyanjikai sandeshai, messages which will reveal the secret, the different messages, and this they cannot be spoken anywhere else. Tabhyo anyatra gyapana anadhai. So they cannot be described to other people except the gopis. So therefore it says sarvante prakashitai. So this you reveal to them at the end. And that only will bring solace to their heart. And they will feel relief from the grief. Otherwise nothing else will work. So that is the significance of this. Why is like this? Why they are so special that Jnana Yoga does not work on them? And why I cannot teach them something about you? So he says that they already know. Taman manaska mat prana madarthe tyakta dehikaha mam eva daitam prashtham atmanam manasagataha ye tyakta loka dharmascha madarthe tan vibharmyaham. So these gopis are very special. Why is that? It says mana manaska, that their mind is completely entered into me, and mat prana, and I am their very life, or their life is in me, and madarthe tyakta dehikaha, and for my sake they have abandoned everything in relationship to their body. So deha and dehika means body and things related with body, other objects or relations or possessions, they are all abandoned for my sake. And mameva daitam preshtham atmanam mansagata. So I am their daita and preshtha. So daita and preshtha both means beloved, but preshtha means supreme beloved. Daita also means the object of compassion. And atmanam mansagata. And through their mind they have entered into my atma. And they are so much attached to me, they have so much love for me, that they have given up even the moral conduct or social conventions. Tyakta lok dharmasya madarthe tan vibharmiham. So he says that those who give up their loka dharma or social convention for my sake, I maintain them. And gopis are certainly like that. So it is my responsibility to take care of them. Mayeva sankalpatmakam mano yasamta. So what does mind does? Sankalpa, vikalpa, sankalpa, vikalpa. So they have made sankalpa in their mind only for my sake, nothing else. Means with their mind, they don't think of anything else. Mind wanders here and there, but their mind is completely fixed on me. So manogati ravichinna, their flow of their mind is only to me without any break, like the water of Ganga flows from Himalayas to the ocean. So therefore mayeva sankalpatmakam mano yashamta. Ahameva prano yasamta. And I am their very life. So therefore they are feeling like lifeless now without me. Tyakta dahika pati putra pitri shayana bhojan panadeyopi yabhista. So dahika means things which are related to one's body, such as husband, children, parents, and then the activities which are done with the body for the maintenance of the body, such as sleeping, eating, drinking. So they have given up all this. And tatra tatra hetu mameva natu swasva patimanya. So the reason for this is only because I am their Daita Priya and not those who think that they are their husbands. They are not attached to them. So Daitam means Priya or dear, beloved, and Mansagata Jnanavatya. So that is their knowledge. This is how their mind is fixed. Na kevalam daitameva apitu preshtham. Not only that I am their daita, but also preshtha. So preshtha means supreme, like beloved, more beloved, most beloved is called preshtha. Nacha preshtham eva kintu atmanam. Not only preshtha, but I am the Atma. Tabhira ahameva swasva jivatma paramatma cha nishchita ityartha. So what does it mean that I am their Atma? So it says that in their mind they have decided that their Atma, Paramatma, their self, super self, everything is only me, nothing else. So that's how their life is, their mind is, their all activities. So it is difficult to understand this. How can someone be like this? Because here in the material world we are very much attached to our own body, and to transcend the body is very difficult. No matter how many times you hear, I am not this body or you are not this body, and you can also teach this to others that you are not this body. But when it comes to acting, then we fall back onto that I am the body. And everything works on that. So in case of gopis, it is Krishna, everything is Krishna. Whatever they do, if they are eating, they are drinking, they are sleeping, it is only because of Krishna and for him, not independently. That is the state of their mind. This is natural for them. They are not thinking like this or imposing it on themselves, or they have some philosophical understanding. Like we have a philosophical understanding, I am not the body. So that's only just understanding. So they are not like that. They actually think They believe like that. This is their experience. So this is what it means that gopis are expansion of Krishna's Shakti. They are not separate from him. This is what it means Prema Advaita. This is the Advaitavad of Prema. Sachaha matra mathrayam atastabhi swasva dehat nirgata atmanam eva manyate. So therefore now I am here in Mathura, and so how the gopis think? They think that their Atma has come out of their bodies and has gone to Mathura. That's how they think. Like people have out-of-body experience, right? So they are thinking like this, that they are actually having out-of-body experience. But those who have out-of-body experience, they get out of the body and they see their body. But their Atma has gone away and they are seeing the body without, the body itself is seeing the body without the Atma. So this is a different type of OBE, different than what you read in the books. So many people have this kind of experience out of body. So this is Krishna is saying like that, Sachaha matra mathrayam, that I, whom they think as their Atma or Paramatma or everything, that is now in Mathura. So tabhi swasva dehat nirgata atmane eva manyante. Atmanam eva manyante. So they are thinking that each one of is thinking that their Atma has gone. So there are many gopis, but they have only one Atma and one Paramatma, and that is Krishna. Kevalam madhiya yoga maya dustarkaya shaktya jivyante iti bhava. So then how is that they are living? Because if Atma leaves the body, you die. So how is that they are surviving? So just like Jiva Goswami says that in the spiritual world there are many bodies, spiritual bodies. When somebody becomes perfect, then he gets one body. People always say, what is this? How is this possible? So just like this, gopis are only bodies and Atma is in Mathura. So how is their functioning? He says Yogamaya is making them function. Otherwise without Atma, how his body works? So he says that Keval Madhiya Yoga Maya Eva Dustarkaya Shaktya Jivyante. So they seem to be living and functioning only by the inconceivable potency called Yogamaya. Ye anyapi sadhak bhakta api man nimittam lok dharmadin tyajanti tan api vibharmi kim punasta. So he says that I maintain even other devotees who give up their social convention, their lok dharma for my sake. And then what to speak of gopis? They are supremely beloved. So I will certainly maintain them. And it is with this intention that he is sending Uddhava to Braj. Because he is also concerned about their welfare. Maita preyasham preshthe durasthe gokulastriyaha smrantyo anga vimuhyanti viraha utkantya vibhalaha. So he is telling this, that my dear Uddhava, these women of Gokula, now when I have gone far away or situated far away, they consider me to be Preyasam Preshta, that most dear of all the dears. Those who are dear, among them most dear, and they remember me, Smarantyo Vimuhyanti, and then they faint. Virha Utkantya Vivala, because of the separation, of being overwhelmed or submerged in the anxiety of separation. So then they faint. So that's their situation. So he is preparing him. By all this, he is making Uddhava ready to meet such people, because he has never met people like that. He has met people who love Krishna, but they are okay, they continue to function, but he has not seen such intensity of love ever in his life. So therefore Krishna is giving him a hint so that he does not get big shock or get totally confused. So therefore he is telling him, Nanu tasam yadi tvameva manah pranadeha preshtha atma cha tarhi tah kathamatra nayata. So Uddhava has a doubt in his mind that if these gopis, they love you so much, taman manaska mat prana, that their minds are fixed on me, their life is me, etc., and you are their preshta, you are their beloved, then why they don't come here? Simple thing would be just come here. Because how can you not come? If you love somebody so much that you consider that person as your Atma, then how is that they are staying there and cannot come here? They don't need a visa to come here. They don't need to take a flight. They can walk or take a bullock cart and come. So this is a question. It's an obvious question. Why they, even if they don't come and stay here, why they don't come to see you? Who would not come to see? When there is such intensity of love and there is no telephone, so no video call, then at least they come. And why is that you don't go there to see them? So this is a very obvious question. So mana pranadeha preshtha atma cha tarhi ta kathamatra nayata tatra sthatumeva katham shaknuvanti. And how is that they are able to live there without you? I cannot understand. The way you are describing, this seems impossible. So, just like cow gives birth to the calf, and then cow is there and calf is here, you think he will not run to the calf runs. Or child is there and mother is there, child runs to the mother. So then he is replying this doubt, he is clearing the doubt here. Maita khalu gokulastha striya gunja gairika murali mayura pichhadi alankritena gopa veshenaiva veshenaivam maya sahatatra gokuleva vilaso prapta manonnishtha. So he says that he is calling them as Gokula Striya, not gopis. So the word used is Maitaha preyasam preshte durasthe gokulastriya. That these are the women of Gokula. So what does it mean? That they like me when I am dressed like a cowherd boy, with these gunja berries, with these minerals marks on my body, have a flute in my hand, peacock feather in my hair, garland from flowers made from the forest, one mala, and I am dressed like a gopa and have a horn in my tucked in my cloth. But here I am dressed differently. So this is not satisfying to them. And I also don't want to meet like that. I also want to meet them in that dress only. So this is the problem. So he says, Gopa veshainaiva maya saha tatra gokulaiva vilasa. So their mood is that they like Krishna as a cowherd, and that is what attracts their mind. And this is possible only in Gokula. That mood, that relationship will not manifest outside. So therefore they don't come here. They want that I go there. So tatra gokuleva vilase prapta manonishtha. Their nishtha is only to be with me in the Gokula. And mayapi yatra anetum anabhipreta. And I also don't want that they come here. Even if they like me there, still they may come because they love me, so they may like to come here, but I don't want that they come here. Because it will not be the same as being in Vraj. So kathamatra Vrishnipuriyam agacchayuriti bhava. So they are Gokulastri. So how would they come to Vrishnupuri, the city of the Vrishnis? This is not the city of Gopas. This is not Vraja, this is Mathura. So therefore they don't come here. And preyasam preshthe durasthe tatascha preyasam api preshtha durasthe sati. So therefore they are remember me who is preshtha, but preshtha, what kind of preshtha? Preyasam preshtha. So as you say, is beautiful among beautiful. So he is dearest among the dear ones. That is the meaning of. So he says first there is what is called comparative and then superlative case. And what is the first one? No, comparative is second and then superlative. Indicative. No, I've heard that. Anyway, so the indicative is Priya. So there is Priya, Prayan and Preshtha. Like good, better, best. So lover is Priya and more lover is Prayan and most beloved is Preshtha. So among most he is the Preshtha. Like you say, what is the word used? That Uttama Uttama. So Uttama means best, and best among the best is called Uttama Uttama. So that is what he is saying here. So Priyam Tavat Sarvam Mamtaspadam. So what is Priya? Priya means that which we consider as ours, our possession, that is dear to us, anything which is our possession. And then more Priya More dear than that is aham taspadam. Tatopi adhiko aham taspadam atma prayan. So first, priya is like body and things related with body. And more dear than that is atma, what we call as I. That is called prayan. So dear, dearer. So dear is body and things related with body, and dearer is Atma. And then comes the dearest. Techa yadi ekasya bahavaha sambhavanti tada teshamapi koti sankhyanam preshthayati. Now suppose that one person has got many things like that which are dearer. There is dear. There are many objects which are dear objects. And then more objects which are dearer than those dear objects. There are many of them. And which is most dear among them, that is called prestha. So this is the third level. And among such presthas, one who is supreme, that is Krishna. So he is making 4 levels. So teshamapi koti sankhyanam preshthayati yadi atma kotibhyo api kechit padartha priya sambhaveyu teshamapi madhyayo ati priyas tadrupe. So he says, if you have Atma, yourself, and there are many Atmas, imagine you have many Atmas, and among them one Atma is most dear. So that is called Prayasam Prashtha. And that is what Krishna is for them. So he says, Yadi Atma Koti Bhyopi, even if there are millions of Atmas, Kechit Padarthaha Priya. Some objects are dear, Sambhavi Tesham api madhye yavati priya. Among these millions of such dear objects, which are dearer than the previous one, then among them I am there. That is the meaning of Prayasam Prashtha. Ateva vimuhyanti vishishta murcha prapnuvanti. Therefore, basically he is trying to explain how dear he is to gopis. Because we just use word dear, beloved, this, that, but the intensity of love can vary. There are so many people we call dear, my dear this, my dear that, right? If you write a letter to somebody, you say dear. Whether dear or not dear, you write it. Right? Mostly it is just written like that. So, but actually to have that dearness in somebody, and then many like this. So that's the comparison he is making. Among them the most dear, dearmost. Most dear or dearmost? Dear, dearer, dearmost. Dear more, dearmost. So most dear among the dearmosts. That's what it is. So it's trying to give an idea. So mamataspadam is the object of love. And therefore now because I am separated from them, they remember me. Because we remember only 2 things. Either we have raga or we have dvesha. Mind remembers those things in which you have raga, or it remembers things in which you have dvesha. And then there are different objects in which you have different degrees of raga and different degrees of dvesha. So if there are 5-10 objects in which you have raga, you will remember that in which you have the most raga. And if there are 5-6 people with whom you have dvesha, so you will think of the one with whom you have most dvesha. Right? So that person, will occupy your mind. So now you can imagine the intensity of the occupation of their mind and natural remembrance of that. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to practice to remember person whom you have raga, you have some love, liking, attachment, asakti, or hatred, jealousy, enviousness. Then you naturally think of that person. It's a natural phenomena. So this says that's why. So what happens is that when you don't have the person next to you with whom you love, and you feel separation or you don't have hope of meeting, then your absorption goes so intense that you lose external consciousness. That is about fainting. It's like people faint. Sometimes a beloved person dies, then the person faints because he's thinking so much that the external consciousness goes away. Externally feels so much pain. Body cannot take that. So then you faint. Body automatically shuts off when there's too much pain. And then inside you, no one can stop you. Externally there is separation, internally you can be with that person. So they faint and then they are with that person. So you go into the internal world. So that's why many times people become crazy. So crazy person makes his own world. He gets disconnected with the external world in which people are living and dealing. And then in his head, because mind has this characteristic, he makes his own world. So then the crazy person, he may have lost some very dear family member or whatever, but then he's laughing. Everybody may be crying, but he's laughing. Because in his own world, he's actually with that person now. And from there, no one can take away. So he feels all right with that. So that's vimuhiyanti. So vishishtena moha, special fainting, murcha prapnuvanti. So then how is that they are living then? Because in that state they cannot eat, they cannot sleep. Then how you maintain your body? Body needs food and sleep. These are the two very necessary things for body to survive. So it says, Madhiya dustarkyaya shaktya jivyamanapi na jivayitum iva shakyante iti bhava. So it says that they are surviving by my dustarkya shakti. But even this Yoga Maya is unable to keep them in normal state of mind. So jivya manapi na jivaitum iva shakyante means cannot make them lead a normal life. They faint, they go into that state. Dharayanti ati krichrena praya pranan kathanchana pratyagamana sandeshair ballavyo me madatmika. So with great difficulty they are upholding their life here somehow. And this is because I have given them this message that I will come back. When Krishna was leaving, so he sent messages when he was sitting in the chariot with the Krura and gopis were following, so he sent them message repeatedly. Ayasi, ayasi, ayasi. I will return, I will come back. So he says Pratyagamana Sandeshai. So this is the Pratyagamana Sandesha, message of my return. So it is only because of that that they are surviving. Ballavyo me madatmika. And who are these? They are Ballavis. So Ballava is cowherd boy, and wife of cowherd boy is called Ballavi. And me madatmika. So they have their Atma in me, or my Atma is in them. Ati Krishrena. So Dharayanti Ati Krishrena. Krishna means difficulty. Ati Krishna means great difficulty. Tasam mat prapti ashaya prana dharanam eva ati kashtam prana tyagastu sugamam eva iti bhava. So Ati Krishrena, with great difficulty, he says that it is easy, very easy for them to give up life. That is easy, but to keep it running, this is very difficult. So somehow their life wants to get out, but they are holding it, that no, Krishna said he will come back. So don't do that. Otherwise they can die very easily and quickly. So this is the meaning, that they are holding their life here with great difficulty. Means life here actually wants to leave them. Because who wants to live in such a pain? When there is too much pain in the body, the person dies, or faints or dies. So dying is the 10th stage of separation. Before that is the fainting. Before that is becoming emaciated, becoming thin, not wearing dress properly, grief, crying, all that. The 10 symptoms of love in separation. So Mriti is the 10th one. So they are not dying. Although he says that that is the easiest thing to do. Nanu kena prakarena pranan dharayanti. So if someone asks, how is that they are able to maintain their life? So then he says, pratiti, pratyagamana sandesi. Gokulat nigaman samaye sigram agamishyami iti ye pratyagamana sandeshastair. He says, when I was leaving Gokula, I have sent messages to them that I will come back quickly. So it is because of that. Ato ma prapti asha eva mahabalvati nirgachatopi pranan badhanati. So he says that their hope of attaining me, because I said I will come back, this is stronger than the life trying to leave. So they are having these two opposite forces. One force is trying to take the pran, life here out, another is trying to hold it back. So the one who is holding back is the hope based on Krishna's messages that he will come back, and that is stronger. So that's which is holding the life here. So now Uddhava says that why are you worried so much about this? Tavka bhavanti ta, says, what are they to you? Tatra ballavya, me ballavya, ballavya me madatmika. So ballavya yadyapi ta ballavanam eva striyas tadapi me madhya. So he says that although they are wives of the cowherd, but they are mine. Evam tasham mahamadurya maya rupa rasa gandha shabda sparshadi sambandha gandham api tatpateha swapnepi na labhante. So me ballavya, they belong to me. This is what Jiva Goswami says, param svaya. That's supremely belonging to him, although they are externally married to the cowherd men. So he says that these husbands, they have no experience of their supreme sweetness in the form of their form, taste, smell, sound or touch, even in the dreams. means they have absolutely no contact with them, any physical contact. Kintu asmad bharya ima iti abhiman matram eva. They only have this feeling that they are our wives. Otherwise they do not have any physical relationship with them. Ato ras shaktya eva swapushti artham anadita eva nitya parkiyaha krita pita madbhogya madiya eva yato madatmika matswarup shaktir hladinya api mahasar prema vrittitvan matswarup bhuta. So therefore, only because of the power of rasa and for the nourishment of this rasa, from the very beginning or without any beginning, they are eternally parkiya. Means their mood is parkiya, although they are belonging to me. They are only to be enjoyed by me, therefore they belong to me, and they are madatmika, which means that they are manifestation of my Hladini Shakti. And that's Hladini Shakti also, the essence in the form of prema. So that's what gopis are, that they are the supreme manifestation of the essence of Krishna's Hladini Shakti, and belong to him only and not to anyone else. So only for the sake of nourishment of rasa they have the parkiya bhav. So this is the secret of parkiya and swakiya. They are swakiya and parkiya simultaneously. Sarvotkrishta hlada rupatvan mad akarshana samartha. So because they are the manifestation of the supreme essence of Hladini Shakti or pleasure potency, therefore it is possible for them to attract my mind. Ateva atma ramasya api mama tabhi ramana sukham atyadhikam. So therefore, although I am Atma Rama, I am self-satisfied in myself, still I enjoy with them and I get supreme bliss from them. Ateva maya atmanah sakashadapi tadhikam anukampaniya. Therefore, they have to be graced by me more than my own self. Iti anukampa arthaka ka pratyaya prayukta. So therefore the ka pratyaya madatmika is a ka suffix there. It is used in the sense of anukampa, grace. Sleshena mama atma mano ramanartha yasuta. Or the meaning is that not that I am their atma, but they are my atma, or my atma is in them. Mayeva atma tatha bhuto yasamta iti. So the meaning is both ways, that their self is in me or myself is in them. Mat sambhogyatvan madiya ityartha. So they are madiya, they belong to me because they are object of my enjoyment. So that is what he says about them. And then Sri Shuka Vacha, Sri Sukdev said, Iti ukta uddhavo rajan samdesham bharturadritaha adaya ratham ahuya prayayau nanda gokulam. So Sukdev Goswami said, O king, when he got this message of his master Sri Krishna and being honored by him, then Uddhava, taking a chariot, went to Gokula of Nanda Maharaj. And Prapto Nanda Brajam Sriman Nimlochati Vibhavaso Channayana praveshatam pasunam khurarenubhi. By the time he arrived there, the sun was about to set. So he must have started late or got lost in the forest. GPS did not work. He has to ask many places and there are not too many people to tell him which way to go, and if he'll get lost in forest, he can go in wrong direction. So by the time he reached, it was evening time, and his chariot was covered with dust. Why? Because of the dust from the hooves of the cows. At that time the cows were also entering the Braja, and so much dust was raised from their hooves. So that dust got settled on his chariot. So much that Channayana, his chariot was completely covered. Pravishatam Pasunam Khurarenubhi, by the dust particles from the animals which were entering the Braja. So this is how he reaches Braja. There is not much commentary here. Nimlochati astam gacchati sati. So Nimlochati means the sun was about to set. Vibhavasa is sun. Vibhavasu means sun. So sun was setting when he arrived there. And Channayana, Achanna Ratha, his chariot was full of dust. So we'll stop here because then he's going to describe what he saw. First there is a description of Braja, which also came earlier, that he saw everything was very nice, and it was explained that it was the Aprakata Braj, where Krishna was already there. Okay, any question? We'll stop.
So I heard that this hierarchy of attachment you explained. You explained the hierarchy of attachment, that something that I consider mine, this would be something dear, and then something that I consider to be I myself, my aham taspadam, this would be more dear and most dear than the most dear among all these objects of my identification. So object of my identification, or Atma here, would be some kind of identity that I have. Is that right?
Yeah, you, whatever you consider yourself, that is aham taspad.
Because when I consider myself to be the body, I have only one body.
Yeah,
right?
he's just giving an analogy. There's no practical corresponding thing for that.
Aha.
He's trying to explain, because it says presham preshtha. So presham preshtha means most dear among the dear ones. So when you say most, then he has to make 3 levels. That's what he's trying to do. So he takes 1 level on the possessions, 2nd level of I. And now he says, imagine that I is of many, many eyes, which are your eyes. So most dear from that is preshtha, presham preshtha.
But couldn't we say that I have many eyes? I have this identity as, this kind of family member, this kind of worker, this kind of different communities I'm in, and then the most dear of that ideally would be the attachment of being identified with, or not identified, but being related to Krishna. Is this maybe what he wants to say here, or
no, it is
in case of the gopis?
He's not saying like that, because that is still all I only. It's only that you are designating your I with something. It's like when you have external objects, there are many objects. It's not one object and you are calling that one object with different names. There are many, many objects. And among them your Ahimtaspad is superior. Because Atmarthe Prithvim Tyajet. You can give up everything else to save yourself. Now he says, imagine that yourself, you have many, many selves. Not just that you give a different name to that self. Okay, I am a devotee, I am a son of my mother, I am brother to my brother, and so on. Not like that. Then among those we can only understand, we can only imagine it. So yourself is more dear than your possessions. Now imagine that yourself are many, many. So among them, most dear, that is Krishna.
When Uddhava was asking Krishna, why don't the gopis come to you, or why don't you go see them? And then I think Krishna said something like, well, they don't like how I'm dressed like that. They only like it if I'm like a cowherd boy. But to me, like, I'm just trying to understand how...
So this is not just the dress, but it is to tell that the love which manifests here in Braja has no comparison. So even Krishna cannot manifest that love in Mathura, what he manifests here. And this will not be satisfactory to them, and they will also not be able to reciprocate like that. That is the meaning behind it.
Okay, so then that means that they would rather they would rather, like, just say Krishna could do half what he could do maybe in Vraj. They'd rather not have that. And just remember him is what you're saying.
That's why greatness of Vraj, which we saw in Gopal Champu, why he starts praising Vrindavan first. That Vrindavan is the place where love can manifest to its ultimate limit. And there is no other place where love can manifest to that extent. It doesn't exist. So that is the glory of the place, Sthan Mahatmya.
They'd rather have that or nothing.
Because they only experience that love. That other love is not love for them.
Oh.
It is you are saying half or whatever, but it's really not love for them. He says, what is this? Because there you have to follow the protocol. You become like he's talking about Tyakta Lok Dharma, giving up all social convention. Now the love will become official.
Okay.
When the king is there, you cannot just go and kiss him there or hold his hand. No, he is a royal person. You have to stand 18 feet away and salute him.
Okay.
And he will bless from there. That is also love. That is also love.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Babaji, here the addressing of Parakiya Bhav is the same Param Swakiya of Jiva Goswami?
Yes. Okay, Sandevji.
You explained that all those many eyes, like that Preshta when you were explaining. So one that I could be that I am a devotee. So even I am a devotee of Krishna, so then Krishna is Preshta, like that.
Yeah.
Another question I had is that Krishna is explained to Uddhava. And initially it was said that Uddhava is Shishya of Brahaspati and he is of the Gyanvan. And when he explained him about this like very rare kind of a love, so with whatever understanding he has, he got some idea and then he comes here and sees it practically.
Yeah.
Is it like
Purushottam Prabhu.
Just a little comment. When Krishna met all the gopis in the solar eclipse, they expressed that, their bhava. This is what the question, I think Josika brought it out, and you explained that. Actually, it is not like Braj. There is only love, intense love is there only in Braj and no other place, even though Krishna meets with gopis.
Yeah. This is the verse which Mahaprabhu was singing in front of the cart of Jagannath. That is the actual meaning of that verse. Ye Komar Hara Saevara Saevek Chatrakshapa. That's actually the meaning of that verse. Yes.
On the same topic, it's also for me difficult to understand why they didn't go to Mathura even on a pretext also, right? And you mentioned also that sometimes they might have, they also went to the market, for example, to buy or sell something, the Vrajavasis, right? So, and if I imagine that, especially the girls, that in Vraja, they also see him in a concealed manner. When he comes back with the boys from cow herding, then they just see him, not in an overt way. So couldn't they do the same also?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's suppose you work in an office, in a corporate office, and you have a high post. Imagine you are a CEO there in your office, and there are 500 people working under you, and you have your girlfriend. You love her, she also loves you. So you think you'll be happy if she comes to suddenly, she barges into your office there, and she starts, holding your hand, and there are 10 people sitting, you are in a meeting. How will you feel? Would you like that? You don't even want to take a phone call. Forget about somebody coming physically, but suppose he makes a call to you, and you'll say, no, please don't call in the office time. Your tone and mood, everything will be different. And she will think, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he speaking like this? You understand the difference?
Yes, at that time I'm in a completely different mindset, right? I'm in that,
Exactly.
very, intellectual and
So
thinking.
now think exactly the same way, that now when Krishna is in Mathura, you're only thinking Krishna with cowherd, flute, that's how you see all. He's not that anymore. He's son of Vasudeva. He's a prince there. He's dressed differently. He has to follow, like if you have seen government officials when they move, especially in India, there are people there. If you have seen when President of America goes somewhere, have you ever seen him moving in his car? You can see it sometime. There are 20 mobikes first, which make like a V shape, and then behind that cars, and then there are always at least 2 cars which are exactly the same, and he doesn't sit in the same car all the time, they change. So all these things. Now is there possibility of doing any love affair there? So it's something like that. You have to see the royal courts, how they were and how things happen. All the people are also used to that. And now suddenly these cowherd women come there, first they will not allow them to enter there. He says, who are you? Do you have permission to see him? He's not a cowherd boy anymore that anybody can go and put his hand on his shoulder and talk like that.
So this would mean that just like I in the office would be also in a, occupied with planning, thinking,
Yes.
executing, whatever. Now he's also actually like that. He is thinking politics.
He's doing his affairs there, official work. That's why he likes Braj. In Braj he's free. There is no duties here. Tending cows is just fun for him. He goes to the forest with cows so that he can play there. He's playing. When he's there, it's not like that. And even if he has to play, they have to play in a royal manner. Not like this, free. Jumping up, going to the tree, jumping from the tree into Yamuna, then running and kicking something, not like that. If he starts doing that, Vasudeva will say, looks like I have to train him. He's been spoiled. Even Vasudeva was not ready to, embrace him. That is the mood. And think of Nanda and Yashoda. If he came to Braj, they will immediately take him into their arms and cry and everything. But Vasudeva and Devaki, he has to spread his maya on them. Remember, tatame sumaya. Then only they embraced him. So that is the Mathura mood. So that love cannot manifest there, it's not possible. It's not a suitable environment. Braj is that. For everything there is an environment.
There is a question from Mohini ji. She asks, I have a short grammar question. VCT is writing in the comment towards 6 Mat Prapati. Mat is 5th Vibhakti. As I understood, 5th Vibhakti is used when there is separation, but Prapti denotes obtaining. So how is 5th Vibhakti used here? Could you please explain?
It is not 5th Vibhakti. It is a samas. It's prathama. There is no vibhakti there. It's only stem word. Asmat. Asmat instead of asmat, mat is used in ekvachan. It should be actually asmat prapti.
You have explained that there are certain things because of which gopis cannot come. In Mathura, the mood is completely different. But what about Krishna going to Vraja?
No, he will go when time comes.
But
there is no reason for him to go there. For what he will go?
Because of, like, he was discussing with Uddhava that he, even you said in the last class that he is unhappy because he has become the reason of unhappiness of the gopis. So then why is not going?
So going means then he should live there, otherwise what is the point? Then he comes back in the same story. There are different reasons. It's also reason explained because Jarasandha is upset, he is going to attack. So then he will trouble them. He will trouble the Brajvasis if Krishna is there. So Krishna does not even want that he has anything to do with Brajvasis, otherwise he will go and trouble them. Because then he knows that, oh, Krishna loves Brajvasis, so let me trouble them. And then he will come here and I will take care of him. So he is being indifferent so that nobody knows that he has something to do with them. Jarasandha only thinks he is son of Vasudeva and he was somewhere living because Kamsa wanted to kill him. So there are different reasons. There more reason is that Jiva Goswami explains that. Maybe we can talk about it tomorrow.